Hi all, welcome to EA30 Running. My name is Aaron. I'm a personal trainer at Basel Sporting Village, also a strength and conditioning coach. So what I'm going to do for you today is provide you with a workout to improve on your running. Now, it might be something you've just taken up recently due to the current climate or something you've been doing for a long time. So I'm going to give you some exercises and drills to ensure that you improve your running ability. Now, before we start, just going to make sure that you have some water at hand, because again, we are going to have a tough session. We need to make sure we stay fully hydrated. If you do have any pre-existing injuries, I will try and show you some regression exercises for you to do, and you can take those up. So please do not aggravate any injuries. If you haven't got a soft surface to work on, that's fine. But please have a mat available for when we do anything on the ground in terms of planks, etc. So we don't put too much pressure on those elbows. Apart from that, guys, all the safety checks are done, so we're going to get straight into it. I'm going to take you through a warm-up first. With this warm-up, we're going to do is a ramp approach. Something you might have heard of before, guys, but an effective warm-up for sports, for running, is going to take a ramp approach. The R standing for raise, A, activate, M, mobilize, and then P, potentiate. So to raise our heart rate, guys, nice and easy, we're just going to jog on the spot. Okay, so everything we do is catered for indoor training, so we can still train indoors. If you want to perform this outside, that's absolutely fine as well. So the first thing we're now going to ensure is that body temperature is increasing, heart rate is increasing, and so is blood flow to the working muscles. Obviously, we're going to be working a lot lower body and a lot through the core as well. So this will be a good start just to ensure that blood flow is getting to those areas. So we're going to stay on this one for 30 more seconds. Again, nice and light on the feet. And that's what we're going to try and improve for you guys today, is ensure that you become more efficient when you hit the floor with your foot and produce more force coming back up, which will help you with your running. So guys, we're going to go for another 15 seconds at this pace, and then we're going to move into one more raise exercise before we actually go into the activate. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the next raise exercise, we're going to again keep it very, very simple. We're just going to go with star jumps. So again, this is real low end plyometric work. We're not trying to be too explosive with this one. So you'll notice that I'm not producing too much power. I'm just ensuring I'm staying getting light on my feet. I'm getting a little bit of movement from my upper body as well. And we're going to keep with this again for another minute. Once we've done this, guys, we are going to move into the activate phase. Okay, good. So nice and controlled with these star jumps, guys. Again, we're just trying to prep, particularly the gastrocnemius muscle, the soleus. So we do a lot of work around that. We're going to focus on some running mechanics. Okay, we've got 20 more seconds. Just keep with this. Again, I call these low intensity plyometrics because we're not trying to be too explosive. We're just trying to prep the tissues and the structures around it. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So hopefully you can feel your gastrocnemius is working, most definitely. Maybe a little bit for the soleus as well. And we get a little bit of mobilisation work around the ankle. So guys, we're now going to move into the activate. Now within running, the glutes are going to be working a lot, the hamstrings, the quad, the gastrocnemius. So I'm going to give you a couple of exercises just to activate the relevant muscle groups. The first one we're going to do is a glute bridge. So we're going to ensure when we do the bridge, hands by the side and then heels close to the glutes. You don't want them too far away because it will hit your hamstrings more. We want to focus more on the glutes, and from there you're just going to squeeze up and we're going to hold for 10 seconds. As we hold for 10 seconds, ensure that you're squeezing through the glutes and you're not putting any pressure through your lower back. If you feel anything going through your lower back, just drop slightly. So again, purposely squeezing through those glutes. We're going to hold it for another few more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax there. Okay, good. So I'm going to try it one more time. Again, getting those glutes activated as best as we can, back into that movement. We hold here, engaging the glutes as best as we can. If you feel it through the hamstrings slightly, just walk your feet closer towards your glutes, so heels are closer towards your glutes. Hold that there. If you feel like your quads are taking it, it means you're too close, so then you need to walk it out slightly. So you should find that range where it's purely focusing on your glutes. Okay, 3, 2, 1, perfect. Okay, so that's the activation of the glutes. We're now going to activate a little bit for the hamstrings. So a good exercise we're going to do, these are called single leg RDLs. And we're going to ensure that we keep balance, so you can have your arms out, or if you're confident with your balance, you can have your arms across. Now, keep the knee on the standing leg soft, and you're going to drive back through the hips. So you can either go from here, chest up, and then return. If you're confident with that, arms across. Again, you can follow as I'm doing it. Really drive the hips right back. And then back in. Okay, stand at the same side. We're going to go for another 3 reps. You'll notice it's real challenging through the balance. And if you get it right, you'll feel it through the hamstring as well. Notice how I try and keep my chest up. I keep my back flat throughout. So the one thing we don't want to do is go here. We want to stay extended and drive those hips back as far as we can. Okay, one more to go. Take time, control, shoulder blade back. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to face the other way for this next one. Just so you can see, again, you want to follow me on this. We're going to attempt, again, arms out if you want to. So if you feel like your balance is not as good on this side, you can go arms out. If you feel confident, we can go back to the arms being across. Again, that standing leg, make sure that knee is nice and soft, driving the hips back. Excellent. You might find one side you'll get better range than the other. I'm definitely a little bit tighter through here on my right side. So for me, I'm not going to get as low as my left. But the more you do this exercise, the better you'll get, the better range you'll achieve on both sides. Okay, one more rep for me. Nice control. Back nice and flat. And return. Okay, so I definitely felt it through my hamstrings. I hope you guys did too. So we've worked on glutes, we've worked on hamstrings. We're now going to try and activate a little bit through the calves. We've kind of done it a little bit in the warm-up. We're just going to ensure that they are fully ready for the session. So all you're going to do, guys, are calf raises, hands on hips, and then you're going to go onto your toes, back down to your heels. Okay, so we're going to repeat that movement, really drive up through those toes. Again, we're not leaving the floor, we're not making it explosive, we're just trying to prep and ensure that the gastrocnemius muscle, the calf muscle, is going to be ready for our running mechanics drills, because we're going to use a lot of the lower part of the leg. So we're going to go for 10 reps on this one, guys. One more rep, and relax it. So on this one, we're going to go one more time. We are going to do 2 sets on this one, just to make sure they are fully prepared. Okay, as soon as you're ready, 3, 2, 1, 10 reps. And nice and high on those toes. We're going into something called plantar flexion here, which will enable the gastrocnemius muscle to contract. Good. 2 more. Last one. And relax it. So that's our mobilisation done. Our activation done, apologies. We're now going to move into mobilisation. So to mobilise, we need to mobilise the key joint or joints that are going to be working when we're running. In this instance, we're going to be mobilising the hips. So guys, the first exercise we've got for the hips, we're going to look into is a pigeon pose. Now this pose or this stretch, this mobilisation movement, you drive the leg through, the back leg, you're on your knee, and then you go into your elbows in front. So you can see that my foot is fed through here. If it feels like it's putting too much pressure through your glutes, you can just bring the foot down slightly, and that creates less of a stretch. Again, it should be mild tension. You shouldn't be over straining this stretch. If you feel like it's hurting, reduce the stretch. We're going to hold it there. And again, after you've done few seconds, you should start to feel the glutes stretching, which are right through the hips as well, for the hip joints. Okay, relax there. We're going to change sides. Same approach, just with the other side. And then on the final switch, I'm going to make it a little bit more progressive, so that we can really work through the hips and the glutes just a little bit more. Okay, good. Right, so we're going to do 2 sets. Again, back in, not holding it for too long. This time, arms out in front, just tuck the head in. We're going to hold that stretch. Make sure you're breathing in and out consistently throughout. Perfect. Okay, change over. So we're doing 2 sets of 10 seconds each side. Hold that stretch there. Again, hopefully with the arms out in front of you, you should feel that stretch just a little bit more. Great. Okay, the final stretch we're going to do is called the world's greatest. And what this one does is, again, mobilise the hips really, really well. You also get a little bit of mobilisation for the thoracic part of the spine because of the rotational element, which I'll show you in a second. So, first off, I will do it in a manner that you can see. So it's a press-up position, but within that press-up position, you're going to lunge to the outside. Now, you don't want to be too narrow with that lunge because that will aggravate the knee. So what we want to do is make sure it's quite a wide stance, okay? Knee shouldn't be tracking over the toe too much. Your foot can turn out slightly if it feels more comfortable, because that actually opens up the hips a little bit better. And then from there, what we're going to do is we're going to raise the arm, turn the chest up, hold that position, and then back down. Again, this shouldn't move at all. Rotate, back down. We're going to go 5 reps. This is a really, really good one to ensure mobilisation for the hips. Good. Perfect. Okay, we're going to go to the other side. Again, I'll switch sides just so you can see the technique. Make sure you are getting it right. Again, it's the hand that's closer to the foot that raises up. From there, again, no tracking of the knee. It just stays where it is. We don't bend through that leg at all. We keep that completely still. If you don't feel it through the hips too much, you can bring your foot further forward. That's as far as I can go. Anything further than that is a little bit too uncomfortable for me. Okay, last one. Good. And relax there. So we have raised our heart rate. We have activated the relevant muscle groups, and we've also mobilised the hips. We're now going to go into potentiate. Now, potentiate will then move straight into the session as well. So you'll find a very good warm-up leads into the session very effectively. So the intensity is going to be a little bit higher now, but it's going to, like I said, work effectively for the running mechanics, which are coming next. Okay, so guys, what we're going to do, we're going to take the stance like so. Feet are going to be shoulder width or hip width apart. That's down to you, that's a bit of preference. I prefer the hip width approach. You're then going to have hands on your hips and we're going to go into some pogos. Now, pogos look like so. And there shouldn't be too much bend through the knee. There might be a little bit if you're a little bit tight for your hamstrings, which I am sometimes. But where possible, we don't want to be doing this because we're going to get nothing out of it. We're trying to prep the ankle, we're trying to prep the gastrocnemius to ensure we then carry out the running mechanics effectively. So, pogos, we're going to go for 10 reps, nice and high. Imagine the floor is hot coal. What I mean by that, as soon as your foot hits the floor, you want to get straight back up again. All right, so in 3, 2, 1. Nice and explosive. As you jump, pull the toes up to then push back down and relax. Again, 10 reps, we have a little bit of recovery. We're going to go for 2 sets on this one. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Nice and explosive, guys. Bring those toes up. Try not to bend those knees too much. Good. Okay, so hopefully you've got the hang of the pogos. I'm going to make them a little bit tougher now. we're going to make it more dynamic, and by dynamic I mean movement. So ensure you've got enough space. If you can't do this with the space you've got, just do them statically again. If you do have the space, then great, give this one a go. So what we're going to do, guys, is from here, we're going to jump, and as we jump, we're going to move forward with that jump. Again, the forwards movement is not massive, it's just enough so that you are progressing like so. So now you've seen the demo, let's do it together in 3, 2, 1. Again, not bending those knees too much, bringing those toes up. And stopping before you hit anything. Right guys, so that is the ramp warm-up. Hopefully now you should feel ready for the session. Like I said, any good warm-up should be done effectively, and now you should feel like you are ready to do some explosive work, some mechanic work, and also a little bit for the core. We're now going to go into our running mechanics. To begin with, guys, we're going to do something called marches. I'll give you a demo. So from here, all we're going to work on are what our knees, our legs, and our arms do, okay? So as you drive your knee, you're then going to move the opposite arm, and vice versa. So on the spot, notice how I've got a nice swing motion through my arms, looking forwards, and relax on the upper body. Just maintain that for me. So when you're ready, begin the marches, guys. We go for 10 marches, nice and controlled. If you find them too difficult, slow them right down. And relax. Okay, so we can do that again. Once you get these right, we can then progress the exercises and make them a little bit harder. So let's start it again. Just be conscious that you don't bring your foot out here, it's back here, and be conscious not to throw your arms too high. Okay, so from here, you notice that when I land on my foot, it's not flat-footed, it's on the balls of my foot, which then allows me to drive even better and relax in. So marches is a simple way just to get the movement correct. We're now going to move into high knees. I call them high knees because of how quickly you do them. It doesn't mean you're going to drive your knees any higher than what we've done. It just means you're going to be a little bit quicker with the changeovers. So guys, we're going to go for just one at a time, and then once we get that right, we can then progress it on. So all you're going to do from here, similar setup to the march. Okay, so you'll notice that I'm being a lot more explosive and I'm sticking it before I move into the next one, all right? So we're gonna do 10 of those. We start off on any side that you want, hold that strong. Nice swing for the arms. And relax there. So, again, should be a bit out of breath now because it's explosive, there's a lot of intent with them, and very quick changeovers with the feet. So let's try it one more time. We're going to go for, again, 10 reps here. Nine, and relax there. So again, get you out of breath. That was the regress version. We're going to keep with them and make them a little bit harder. So this time, we're going to go with 5 reps, but every rep contains 3 knees. Let me just show you. So from here, okay, try and keep form as best you can. Remember, the knees not coming too high, keeping the shins back a little bit, and relax that upper body. So guys, I'll count you in. I'll go 1, 2, 3, and then we'll stick that third one. So from here, go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, one more, 1, 2, 3, and relax there. So that's a tougher one. It's a really good one to work on explosiveness, the quick changeovers, and also work on keeping that form when you go into the balance side of things. So we're gonna go for that one more time, just so we can, again, get used to that stick and get used to that explosive movement. Okay guys, ready? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and relax. When you become more relaxed on the upper body, you'll notice the knees move a lot more efficiently. Okay guys, so that's the high knees done. That's the explosive work done. We're now going to move on to another drill, and these are jumping high knees, okay? Some people call them bounding or high bounds, but we're going to go up as opposed to horizontal. And again, this is one just designed just to maintain form. So all we're going to do is keep that same form, but we're going to jump and stay in that form, like so. Reset. Okay, key with this leg, the one that's jumping, in this case my right leg, it stays straight. And again, I'm trying to keep all my nice angles on the way up and just hold that there, all right? So let's try that together. We're gonna go for 10. You can choose any side to begin with. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Okay, this time you might have noticed that my arms are coming a little bit high. That's absolutely fine because we're trying to really propel ourselves up. So, you know, try and emphasize that arm drive a little bit more because we're aiming to go up now as opposed to horizontal. So guys, we're going to change legs. Obviously, I've worked jumping from the right, so now I'm going to be jumping from my left and driving my knee with my right side. Again, opposite arms. So when you start off, you have this arm here, your opposite arm to the leg that's jumping, and when you jump, you switch. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And again, they're quite a difficult one. Even though you take your rest time at the bottom, you get a chance to reset, it's still quite explosive. So you should definitely feel a lot for the gastrocnemius and a little bit for the hamstring as well. So let's go back to the original side. We're gonna go one more set and then we're gonna make one more progression on that, okay? So in 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, good drive those arms, 8, 9, 10. Again, you'll notice when you do the reps which ones feel better than the others because you're more than likely using your arms more and you'll be a little bit more explosive on the way up. Okay, so this time we change sides. 3, 2, 1, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, it's quite a tough movement because arms will want to go out a little bit, so it's real crucial that we try and keep those arms close to us. So for the final one, we're going to go alternates. Okay, so for the third and final set, we're going to alternate. We're going to go 10 each side. I'll just give you a quick demo so you can see. And you'll notice that the more relaxed you are in the upper body, the easier it is to change. If you become really stiff, you'll find this movement really difficult. So just relax, take your time. If you're not comfortable at the start, you can relax and then change. That's fine, but where possible, try and keep it as continuous as you can. Okay guys, in 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 4. Good, keep it going. Halfway. It's tough now. 16. And relax there. So I was definitely feeling it there for my hamstrings, loads for my gastrocnemius. Hopefully you guys were too, but getting that arm drive should have made it just a little bit easier to get a little bit higher. So guys, we've now done the ramp warm up. We've got into the running mechanics and we're now going to work on the core. So within running, especially when you're in a straight line, you do not want any unwanted movement through your torso. So that's where your obliques come into play. That's where your anti-rotational muscles come into play. So the best way to work on those are anti-rotational exercises, and a good body weight one is as follows. You're going to move yourself into a full plank. So a full plank like so. If you find it difficult, go wide. If you're very strong for this movement, go narrow. In that position there, you take a deep breath in and you brace the core. Reset, go again. Okay, one more time. So hopefully you saw that when I was raising my arms, I was keeping this relatively still. The one thing you don't want to do with this movement is do this, because then you're not engaging your obliques as much as you want, and you're not engaging your anti-rotational muscles as much as you need to. So guys, we're going to go 10 reps, 5 each side. We're going to go for 2 rounds on this one. Again, really try and engage that core as best you can. Right, in 3, 2, 1. Raise up, reset, other side. Again, breathe in. And then breathe out when you get to the top. Again, breathe in. And return. Halfway. Get that core nice and strong. 3 more. Last one. Real tough one on the core. You'll feel a little bit for the shoulders as well, but again, mainly for the core. And again, if you held yourself really still, you should feel it coming down here as well. So, a little bit of recovery. We're going to go for 3 sets. That's set number 1. 3 sets of 10, and then we're going to move into our cool down. Okay. So just a little bit more recovery. We don't want to go in too early, otherwise you'll start to tire and you'll start to rotate, which is not what we want to do. So guys, recovery is on. Again, around 45 seconds to a minute recovery. You can obviously have more if you feel like you're really fatigued, but we're going to go from here. 10 reps, let's go. Stay nice and strong for that core. Raise the arm as high as you can. 1 more. And relax there. So, another tough round. We've got 1 more round to go, and then we've done the 3 sets for the core. So again, hopefully guys, you're feeling the benefits of this already. If you find it really hard to do it on your toes, you can revert to your knees. But again, try work up to the toes where possible so we can get more engagement through the core. Right guys, in 20 more seconds, we're going to go for the last set. We'll utilise that full recovery so we can get good quality reps for this final set. Right, let's get the setup correct. Once we've done that, we're going to go. So 3, 2, 1. Then breathe in. And breathe out. Make sure the breath out comes at the top, so here, brace the core, and again. Two more. Last one. Okay, so well done on those exercises. We've done the warm-up effectively, we've done some good running mechanic work, and now we've just done a little bit of the core. So for the last bit, we're now going to cool down. We're going to do some static stretches, and we're going to hold them for 15 seconds for the maintenance of them. First stretch we're going to do, is we use a lot of it, is going to be for the gastrocnemius. So it's going to be a wide stance, a nice drive with this front leg, but you notice how my back heel stays flat on the ground. And we're going to hold this here for 15 seconds. Again, bring that heart rate back down. Should hopefully feel a stretch going through your gastrocnemius now as you're driving that heel back. Okay, good. Change sides. Same approach. If you don't feel it too much, try and go further in front with this front leg and just really be conscious of what that heel's doing. Hold it there. Again, regulate your breathing now. Deep breath in, and then breathe out. So the next stretch we're going to do for the hamstring, we're going to bend one knee, rest on that knee that is bent, leg nice and straight, and just try and point the toes up a little bit. And again, we're going to hold this for 15 seconds, drive your hips back and keep your back nice and flat if you can. You should really feel the stretch. Again, just like the warm up, when you do any kind of stretching mobility for mould tension, so don't overstretch here. If it's hurting, just come up a little bit higher. Okay, good, and change. Then hips back. You might find with this stretch as well, you've got one hamstring tighter than the other, and that will also impact your power, your mechanics on that side, so it's good to definitely stretch where possible, where needed. Okay, good. So the next one we're going to do, we're going to work through the core now. A good stretch for the core, where we've worked it. So we're going to go in this position here. Just drive the hips up, and then engage the core here, and go into a bit more flexion for the spine. If you don't feel it, you can bring your knees closer in. Okay, go again. Drive the hips out. Good, and then we'll go into flexion here. We'll do one more set on this stretch. Okay, same again. Hips out. So we're looking like a 5-second hold. Just about on each movement. And then here, so we do it 3 times. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got a lot out of it. If you do this and you put a little bit of time and practice into those movements, it will definitely improve your running. So let me know how you get on, leave a comment on the video, and I hope to hear from you guys soon.